Let's start our analysis with the monthly chart. On the monthly, markets are still trending down, though the momentum has slowed down a little bit, primarily due to the budget and the upcoming RBI policy. So till Friday, we could see a range-bound activity, and then maybe markets might take one decisive direction, either to the upside or downside. If we move to the upside, it will be somewhere close to the first initial move will be somewhere close to 23,800, and then 25,000, 24,800 to 25,000. But it has many supply zones on its way up, so it's not going to be that easy unless some good news comes out. On the lower end, that's the area of demand zone. On the monthly chart, the supply starts somewhere here. So if we have to mark the supply, it will be here. So that's the range for this month and probably the next month as well. Let's say from 24,800, 600 to 800, and about 22,500 to 22,000. That's going to be the monthly range. We are in the middle of the curve right now, and the trend is down. Taking a look at the weekly chart last week, after a long time, we had a nice bullish candle, which ended at the top. But this week we again opened down, and this is a live candle, needs to be observed what it does, whether it moves up towards this area of 23,800. That's where the next supply is. So that's the main supply here on the weekly chart. If it comes here, there'll be good shorts available on confirmation for a good targets. And on the demand side, we still have this as the main demand area, which is at 21,582. So that's going to be our range so far. We do have another supply here around 23,700 to 23,800. Now that might also hold if there are no positive news coming in, and prices can move down from there. So let's say for this week at least, the upper end of the range could be 23,800 to 24,000, and lower end could be around 22,800. Taking a look at the daily chart, uh, after hitting this fresh area of demand zone on the daily, that's the area from where prices went up and gave a new high. We had a novice pro gap combination, and prices are moving up. This is a new area of demand zone that has been formed, but there is no significant achievement of this demand zone since the supplies on the daily chart has been hit. So this is the narrow range where we could be seeing the price trading for the next 2 3 days, or at least up to this expiry, unless there is no negative surprise on the global front. So that's a very narrow range. Short term, it could probably make an attempt to move towards 500, 550. Then it could probably come down again, or continue moving up towards 23,600. But 23,600 remains a very critical supply area from where prices could again start coming down. If we break this demand zone, we could probably move towards again 23,000 to 22,800. So very narrow range. So not much reward to risk on the index from a short-term perspective. For swing, maybe shorts around about 23,600 on confirmation. Longs could be intraday, or maybe weekly expiry options can be traded for the long side. On the intraday time frames, that's the main area from where we fell. Even though prices went beyond that, remember there's a lot of supply still available here. So if we start moving up and move beyond 550, we could easily move towards, let's say, 23,750, 23,800, or even 23,900 areas. Right now, we have breached one area of demand zone. Today we opened with a big gap, and it's not being easy for the prices to move up beyond the gap. If we start falling from here, maybe that's the area, that's number one area where we could come down and turn. So look at confirmation longs. But if it doesn't hold, then it will probably be 23,000 and 22,800 areas where we can look at some longs. Crucial demand area will be at 23,160 to 23,080. So the range for on the intraday time frame would be 23, let's say 550 to 600, and on the lower side 23, 150 to 23, 200. All right. Uh, India VIX has dropped down after the budget and probably might continue moving down towards 13 or 15, maybe sub 14 levels. But from there, we could see again up move in the India VIX. If it starts moving up, there is nothing to stop it to move till at least 17, 18. And that's where we could see the markets coming down. On the weekly, again, we went up towards 19 and came down. So probably India VIX will again settle down somewhere between 12 and 14 before it makes a decisive move on either side. If it comes lower, then it could come towards, let's say, 11 and a half to 10. Uh, and markets would then be again probably at 23,800, 23,900 if this comes out, or even 24,000. Okay, so everything depends on the RBI policy. If rates are cut, maybe that could provide a positive impact on the markets, and we could see a good sharp up move on the indices till 23,800, and Bank Nifty might move till, let's say, 5,800 to 51,200. Let's take a look at Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty has come back to this area of monthly demand, moved nearly close to that area of demand zone on the monthly. But yeah, if you take a look at it, we closed the in the month of Jan below 49,800, which is not a good sign. So even if we move up, it would probably be a sell on rise somewhere around 51,500 based on the monthly chart. And if it continues moving lower, we could see Bank Nifty moving at least towards 45,000. And then if bad news persist and there is issue with the economy, eventually we could see this moving towards 42,000, but that's far-fetched right now. Currently, if you have to take a look at the monthly, we would be looking at about 46,400 to let's say 51,000. That's the range for this month and probably even next month. On the weekly chart, we have not really hit any demand zone. Remember, this candle went all the way here. So this is that demand which was in play when it went and gave a new high. And other than that, there is no demand zone on the weekly chart. Uh, so if we move up and hit this weekly supply, there is a good chance of prices coming down if no positive news again. That's a weekly supply zone. So if this moves up, we could continue moving towards 5,500, where we can look at some good confirmation shots. And swing positions could be held probably at least till 47,000. And then second target would be 46,500 if the trend continues. It has given a change in the trend. And if this pullback happens, this will be more of a reversal to the supply zone and prices will start coming down. Remember, we still don't have any demand zone formed on the weekly. It's just a drop based rally. And even if we go here, it won't have any achievement. So be cautious about going long in these areas. On the daily chart, we went up, Bank Nifty went up pretty well. But if you take a look at the daily chart, there is no great strong candle on the daily other than this gap, which is right now holding. It is a nice gap. So if we retest this gap, prices have a chance to turn around from here and move towards 5,500 again. So that's the main demand area. That's the area 48,800, which was an issue for it to move beyond for a few days last week, last to last week. But then eventually last week it moved above that and is holding. So as long as it holds below this, or probably let's say 48,500, we have a chance to move towards 50,000 and 50,400. Right now, Bank Nifty is reacting to this area of supply zone on the daily chart. There is still a great chance that Bank Nifty could move down towards 48,500. We also have a nice gap down today, and it's not been able to move up. So the next 2 3 days price action will be crucial. And if Bank Nifty goes, then Nifty might come down. So those could be the areas where you could cover your shorts if you are in shorts here. Or let's say 48,700 is also good enough because this might hold. There is a intraday time frame demand area there. And if we move up again here, we can look at some confirmation shorts. So until this gap is not taken off, and we cannot really say that prices will move up. If the gap holds or if this EMA holds, we could continue moving down towards this where you can look for confirmation longs. So that's a compressive price action, and there is nothing to hold Bank Nifty technically. So if it falls, it can come all the way towards 48,200s as well. Now it depends whether it comes here before budget, before the RBI policy. If it comes somewhere close to 48,700 before RBI policy, there is a chance it may hold and keep ranging between this. But right now in this range, it has gone to the highest end, and now good chance at least towards 48,600 or 48,500. Private banks are not moving up, and so are PSU banks. So banks could be moving down till the RBI policy. And based on what RBI policy does, we'll see either other range being broken. If we break the upper range, we will probably again move towards that area of supply, which is at 5,800, and then 51,500, where we can look at swing confirmation charts. So right now in the middle of the curve, coming from top, going long will be a little risky. Maybe staying on the sidelines for newcomers in the index will be a good idea, and just observe price action. And if we come down here, that's the area where you can look at confirmation longs, especially if it comes here, let's say in the next 2 days before the RBI policy, we could see a up move all the way towards at least 49,200 in anticipation of a rate cut. All right, so cautious play in both the indices, but you can be stock specific. Many trades available both on the long and short side, but overall markets are a sell on rise. But do not sell low on the curve. Let it come to good areas of supply zone like this before you go short, and to go long, let it come to good areas of demand zone to go long. All right. Hope that helps.